fishing news is brought to you by Navionics, Okuma, Yozuri, Evinrude, Lama Glass, and the Star Island Yacht Club in Montauk, New York.
Welcome to 2020. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine. 2020. Every time we come to the end of one year and the start of another, we talk about the same thing, the closure of black sea bass. I'm still not quite sure why we can't get a black sea bass fishery in January and February, but we can. So folks that have been enjoying that bite on the offshore grounds, doing pretty well. You know, the weather windows aren't open that often, so when folks can get offshore, when they could, right before the New Year's holiday, you could get into some good action. In fact, Roman Hugo let me know that he was out just the day after Christmas, brought in a 6-pounder. Hearing a lot of 4s and 5s and 6s, but not the only big fish out there. There was Joe Welsh. You probably heard about this one. He was on the Big Jamaica on Sunday, and it turns out there was a 104-inch mako shark playing havoc under the boat, picking people clean and taking off those sea bass that folks were trying to land. Except when it came to Joe. Put the boots to this 104-inch, I think it was a 375-pound mako. Not a bad fish on a party boat. Stripers, don't forget, back bays and rivers in New Jersey. You are not allowed to target or keep stripers in the back. Not in New Jersey, not again until March 1st. But you still have that opportunity on the open beaches. And there are some fish still out front. We've been talking about that all December, and I imagine we'll talk about it for a few weeks in January as well. Serge here, he checked into fish heads and ship bottom on Monday. So it's good to see some of that action is still out there. Again, mostly tins and teasers. Make sure you have a couple of those little swing shads, the Kettle Creeks, or the tsunami swim shads, those bunker imitations of small baits like that, and of course the teaser. Winter flounder has also come to a close for 2019. That will reopen again on March 1st in New Jersey. Until then, it's tautog, ling, cod, and porgies on those party boats that are sailing along the Jersey shore in particular. A lot of folks this time of year also will head south looking for the tautog action. We've got an article coming out in a couple of months about that, but a lot of folks will chase tautog all the way through the winter and hit the Delmarva Peninsula out of Indian River Inlet, down around Ocean City, Maryland, and even into Wachapreague and Virginia Beach as well. But the party boats continue to sail at the Jersey shore at the first of this year. And again, it's offshore looking for some of those ling and cod and the blackfish especially. Of course, boat and outdoor season also kicks into gear. 2020, the start of a new year, means the start of a brand new show season. And this weekend it kicks off with the Tri-State Fishing Expo from 8 till 2 at the Hilton Garden Inn, Staten Island. That's at 1100 South Avenue in Staten Island. Admission is just $10. You can visit Tri-State Fishing Expo to get all the details on that Staten Island event. January 9th, next week, the New Jersey Marine Fisheries Council will meet at 5 o'clock at the Galloway Township branch of the Atlantic County Library. That's at 306 East Jimmy Leeds Road in Galloway. Bluefish has become a big topic of conversation. I'm sure we'll find out more at that meeting next week. So if you want to head out and find out about bluefish and summer flounder and porgies and sea bass and all that other great stuff. Also on January 9th, we'll be kicking off the Garden State Outdoor Sports Show. That's the first one for the Fisherman magazine. We'll be at that 4-day event, January 9th through 12th. That's at the New Jersey Convention and Expo Center in Edison. Admission is $10 online, $15 at the door, so go online at gsoss.com and take advantage of those special savings. Now, folks are already chomping at the bit, I know, to get in on some ice fishing. Not me. Still don't like the cold, but I'll tell you, a little bit of cold will do us well in Northwest Jersey in terms of that ice fishing. Get out for some walleye and trout. And I know guys like George out in the Poconos, they're already prospecting around for some good ice. Ain't that right, George?
Well, thanks, Jim. Well, it's 2020 here, guys, and I hope your entire year is full of new PBs. But the season's been pretty good so far. I mean, guys have been getting out over the holiday. We had some ice up north. If you go up into Bradford County, here's Brian Knowles and his pop Tim were out, and they got on a mess of panfish, even a couple of really nice crappie. Check out these slabs that Brian's holding here. Now, even further down up in the Toby-Hanna region, Eric Goodstall was out getting some more crappies. There's some ice up there as well, and a couple of nice perch. So there's some really good fishing up on some of the ice here. But you got to be careful because the ice is fleeting. So be sure you take your time. Take your spud bar, check it out. Be sure you got at least 4 inches of depth before you get out and hit that ice. Now, also on the streams down towards Stroudsburg, good friend Rich Bates was out, and look at this monster trout he caught in some of the local creeks. Those trout love this cold water, so you guys got to get out and get on them. From Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
The January edition is out. The Fisherman Magazine's New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition for January. Our Dreamboat winner, Garrett Weir, spotlighted in that special edition that also includes our outboards and fishing boat motor buyer's guide, an extensive, very comprehensive list of everything that's available in the new year. We've also got a full write-up of bluefish. I'd mentioned that before. My take on the bluefish limits coming in 2020. And the final reveal in the satellite tag, the second satellite tag in the fish called Freedom. I think you're going to be pretty shocked at this. After leaving the Hudson River on May 21st, that big striper went dead into the canyons. Kid you not. Take a look at that. That's the January edition. It's on newsstands right now. You can take a look at that chart. It tells you all about where Freedom went. And we're really hoping to raise some more money in 2020 to put some more satellite tags and stripers this coming May as well. Make sure you go to thefisherman.com to find out how you can be an investor in that striped bass satellite tagging program. Now, there are a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine, maybe friends of yours, who are hard at work behind the scenes to make sure that we've all got the hottest fishing tackle going, gear for catching fish, and those tireless efforts to support the recreational fishing community. Sometimes we don't know who these people are until something bad really happens. Late last week, Ed Felstadt of the Folsom Corporation passed away suddenly at the age of 63. Now, Ed and his family built the Folsom Tackle Corporation from the ground up and turned it into one of the biggest distributors along the East Coast of fishing tackle. So if you couldn't find something on the tackle shop, the folks there at Folsom were taking care of that. And Ed also led the way with the Tsunami Tackle Company and Bimini Bay. So that's Saltex and all that great tsunami stuff as well. And like I said, a surprising passing of Ed. We're all at a loss of that, but our entire community is. And it just came several months after another great Folsom employee, staff, family member, Will Nitchman, had passed away. And Will, you've seen him at tackle shops. Will was always in there at the tackle shops. And if there was an empty pegboard, he was going to make sure it was filled. So we're a little bit empty ourselves now at these losses in 2019. If I look ahead towards 2020, it's hard not to go back and take a little moment to offer some prayers for those who did pass in 2019. One of my mentors from the New York Metropolitan Outdoor Press Association, outdoor writer Bob Brauneschultz, passed away earlier this year. The last and only surfcaster to fish every single striper derby going back to 1965, the LBI Surf Fishing Classic, Tobacco Jack Donnelly, also passed away earlier this year. Other tackle designers and captains, tackle designer, shop owner, head skipper of Break Even Charters, Mike Farmer, passed away, as did Captain Jody DeStasio of XTC, Captain Ken Keller of the Norm Mackay, the senior Captain Bob Bogan from the Gambler, as well as Captain Joe Acapini, senior of the Little Hawk. I'm sure there are others, friends, families, loved ones, fishing buddies. I will take a moment now to offer a toast and prayers for all of them, all of you. And here's to a much better, prosperous, healthy, and fish-filled 2020. We'll see you next week at the Garden State Outdoor Sportsman Show in Edison as we kick off the 2020 show season. Catch them up, and we'll see you again next week here at thefisherman.com.